How's it going, YouTube? Coming in today with another video, and today, guys, what the bring to you is going to be the national format expectation. Now, with nationals coming up, we also got an announcement that we have a new Mulcharmy coming out, which is going to be pretty annoying. A lot of people are calling it Max 3 because it realistically is just Max C. For anyone who's just like, it's not Max C, there's so much nuance, just stop kidding yourself. Like, don't sit here and act like you don't know what this is. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've heard all day, right? When people are like, this isn't Maxi. It says extra deck on it, it's Maxi. Like, let's be real. If you still pass to it, it's Maxi. But, like, this is going to be August format where we see 3 Ash, 3 of the Maxi, 1 call by, and 3 cross out. So it's going to be a ridiculous format. A little bit further, we can still see Nibiru being in the main deck, I'm sure, because anytime that Maxi's around, Nibiru just needs to be there, because Maxi has to draw you into something that's, like, real good, right? But I do think, in general, this is what we're going to see a lot, which is going to be kind of crazy. I do hope that you guys are all just kind of preparing for that. This is also probably going to be a secret rare, so it's going to be what it is. But let's go ahead and talk about what national format is going to look like. So this is a rough list of what Snake Fiendsmith will look like. I've already seen a couple lists that are maining Mulcharmy, which I don't disagree with because the deck is already so absurd that even if you dead draw one of these going first, I don't think that is even that bad because you have multiple cards in the deck that still do things right. You can go ahead and negate things like Diabellstar and Snake Eye Ash, and you can still full combo through Closed Sky. Which is really crazy considering the fact that, like, the deck is already so resilient. You're also only playing, like, 1 Flameburst now. I know Close Heaven isn't in here. This is just, like, a rough list, right? But, like, it is really crazy with the fact that, like, there's so many hand traps. So, your side now at Nationals has to be, like, mega aggressive going second. Like, if you don't need your normal summon, play Spear mode. If you want to play Super Poly with the Earth Golem, then you might have to. But I do think in the sideboard, you have to be on things like Mind Control, Change of Heart, Metaltronus, Dark Ruler, Spear Mode. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize just how hard this end board of Snake is to crack, let alone their follow-up. So you have to be able to, like, crack their board and put up a board with as few cards as possible. I think Yubel has a really good chance at doing that, but your normal summon is still pretty important in that deck, so you can't run a lot of, like, the really good cards for it. Otherwise, you have to run, like, a ton of hand traps. I do think with Konami announcing that we're going to get a ban list late August, it probably means they're going to nuke Snake Eye. And, like, listen, I know a lot of people are like, W communication, and, like, this is great. I disagree. I think that they do this to save their own ass. It's just because, like, so many people are so disinterested in the format that they're like, this is like, here's a cherry on top to keep you coming back to the game. We're gonna announce that there's no ban list. But, like, that doesn't do anything. Like, there's still a problem. And if you think that they're gonna keep, like, announcing things like that, you're kidding yourself, bro. Like, I think that they just do it to be like, hey, like, enjoy your format. Now you know what's gonna happen. But, like, that's not gonna continue. Like, if everyone's posting about it and everyone's freaking out about it, it's because they don't do it and they probably won't again. And if it was a YCS, guarantee you they would never have said a word. It's because it's Nats, and I think that's insane. I think that it's just one of those things where it's like, people are just trying to cling to hope that, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets saved somehow, and, like, right now it feels so grim. But that's, like, my unfiltered thoughts on it. I mean, I definitely want to still enjoy the game. I definitely enjoy playing, and I want to still be able to play, but, like, we get a new Maxi, which means that Konami's just completely out of touch. We get unparalleled Snake Eye format for Nats, which is crazy, and their endboard plus follow-up is even crazier. So, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you have to find your own love for the game if you want to keep playing, because it just gets more and more toxic. And then not only are people, like, so excited about this weird W communication, but, like, now you have to drop, like, $800 on boxes just to be able to get the Fiendsmith cards because of the fact that most of them are secret. So, like, with that being said, it's just like, if you expect to be able to get them, you have to be able to drop so much money. So even if they tell you how the format's going to be, even if they tell you we're going to get a ban list later on, that doesn't fix the format that we're in right now. And this is the biggest tournament of the year. I'm really disappointed in Konami for not giving us a better format. Because, like, there's so many people already complaining that, like, aren't just, like, the usual people who complain about it. It's like everyone is complaining about it, right? So I think that it's one of those things where I've even said on Twitter, like, bring back Mystic Mine, I guess, right? Like, if we're just gonna have such an all-out format, like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, why is this the format, right? It's kind of crazy to me, but, like, again, and I don't want to, like, doom post. I've been trying to prevent making this video to doom post, but, like, it's one of those things where I'm just announcing frustrations from somebody who gives back to the community, wants to be a part of the community, and wants to love the game. I don't know if you've seen the meme going around where it's talking about how difficult Yu-Gi-Oh! Is compared to the other games. It's because no other game will ever scratch the itch that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just his own beast, right? If you want to play Pokemon and you want to watch your opponent solitaire and then you solitaire, go for it. But, like, it's one of those things where you can play literally any other card game, and I think the only one that's worth playing right now is probably, like, Lorcana. And even at Lorcana, the minimal amount of a deck to buy in right now is, like, $300. Which, I mean, is not really something that we're against in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because we'll spend it. But, like, also, there's a lack of events, and if you don't sign up in a minute's time, like an actual literal minute, you don't get into the game. It's kind of crazy. I do think, though, again, with National format coming up, if you're not playing Snake Eye Fiendsmith, you're at a heavy disadvantage. And I'm no different. I'm no different. I'm not playing Snake Fiendsmith either. So I think that it's one of those things where we have to understand that Snake is going to be like 90% of representation. Like, this is as close to like the craziest tier 0 format that we'll ever see. I do think that, you know, it's going to be a really rough time. And I think the other thing that I'm really frustrated about is there's no voice actors at Nats. We have a pre-recorded footage. Like, oh my god, how much of a shit show can you make for us, right? Like, at least make the event fun. I think that's so crazy. It's Yugi and his grandpa is the duel for the event, and neither of them will be there. I think that's so crazy. Like, when we see this ban list, it has to clear up so much, and it's so weird, because, like, I don't even want to go to Nats anymore. And for me to not want to go to Nats, like, so much is happening, right? And my attitude was so bad the other day when we got not only no ban list, but we also got to hear that, like, the format is going to be worse in August. Like, bro, it's so bad. And again, reeling it back in a little bit, right? I'm just being as real as possible, as much as possible. You guys know that I'm the most unfiltered Yu-Gi tuber out there. Like, I will tell you guys as it is as much as possible. And you can agree with me, you can hate me, but at the same time, we're in such a bad situation in the game right now. Like, this is probably the worst that I've seen the game in a really long time. And to be fair, before we got the announcement of the new Moltrami, and we got the announcement of no ban list, I put in over 100 hours practicing Yubel because I was genuinely excited to go to Nats. So before you go into the comment section, which I know a lot of you will before you watch the whole video, I still love the game for what it is. But it's so crazy that we're seeing so many players switch to even like Edison because they just don't want to play in the main event. And I think a lot of people will go to Nats, but I'm really interested to see how many people actually play in the main event. And I'm really interested to see after round 3 how many people are still in the main event. So we'll definitely see. But it's going to be a really obnoxious format. It's going to be extremely obnoxious. And, you know, I'm still going to be around. I might try and play a couple other TCGs or games and do a little bit of variety streaming. I don't really like the fact that we have Max C legal in the TCG. Like, that's kind of crazy. So, you know, Nats is going to be a huge determiner as far as how the game still goes. And I think it's crazier that we have Nats and Euros under the same ban list, and it just ruined both events. They could have done the most smidgen of a ban list and said they were going to give us an actual one in August. They could have just like banned Oak or like banned Flamebridge. You know, like they could have just did like one or two things. They could have banned Lurie. They could have just straight up banned Lurie and been like, all right, go for it. And we would have been like, all right, no problem, right? But I think overall, it's going to be a hell of a time at Nats. And I'm genuinely pissed off. And I'm going to be real about that. I'm genuinely upset with the game right now. And it's really weird for me to say that because no matter what happens in the game, I'll always still try to find a way to enjoy it. But right now, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Definitely let me know down below in the comment section what you think about the game. If you're going to be playing in August, if you're switching to another TCG, let me know which one. But definitely interested to hear what everyone has to say, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.